The Institute is an advanced technocratic scientific cabal based in the Commonwealth. Founded in 2110 by survivors from the Commonwealth Institute of Technology and their descendants, the Institute considers itself a bastion of knowledge and prosperity amid a dying world, and by 2287 has developed numerous revolutionary technologies such as teleportation and synthetic humans. Disdainful of the outside world, they aim to monitor and control the Commonwealth through both subterfuge and brute force, to ensure their work is not disrupted. This secretive and hostile attitude has turned the Institute into a boogeyman in the wasteland, and its presence is a major cause of paranoia for the people of the Commonwealth. The Institute was built upon what was once known as the Commonwealth Institute of Technology, or CIT, while the college itself laid in ruins for more than 2 centuries. At the time of the Great War, those present took refuge underground. The Institute was formally founded by the children of the original survivors, who dug into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated residential facilities and laboratories, starting an ongoing process of infrastructure expansion. Isolated from the outside world, the scientists continued their work, disregarding the mayhem and destruction occurring outside of its grounds. As they worked on creating synths, they attempted to work peacefully with the people of the Commonwealth using first-generation synths as well as help create a new stabilized government, but mutual mistrust and infighting ended that relationship quickly and they returned to isolation. Eventually, the scientists have utterly put ubiquitous pre-war technology to shame, to the point where they believe that wastelanders would be unlikely to understand the sheer scope of the Institute's achievement, such as the creation of the molecular relay, teleporter, in the 2180s, which resulted in the Institute sealing itself off from the surface permanently, and the development of synths. For decades, the first and second generation synths were the most visible part of the Institute's operations, scavenging for materials and performing experiments on the wasteland. The scientists did not concern themselves with the effect their actions had on the surface, sometimes resulting in entire settlements being destroyed. However, the Institute eventually reached the limits of the synth technology that underpinned their society. Although powerful, the second-generation synth was an inherently limited, mechanical platform. To overcome the limitations of metal synthetic materials, the Institute endeavored to create synthetic flesh, with the first research initiative beginning in 2178. Under the auspices of Dr. Frederick, FEV sample served as the starting point for the new, organic synthetic program despite the objections of some members of bioscience. Research slowed in March 2224, as the research team concluded that the organic synth project could not proceed despite perfecting 2 FEV strains for the project. Radiation-induced hereditary damage proved too much of an obstacle. The solution came in 2227, with the acquisition of Sean by Conrad Kellogg and his undamaged pre-war genetic code. The Organic Synth project was spun off from the FEV research initiative, and his DNA became the basis of the third-generation synths. The infant Sean became father to a whole family of engineered synthetic beings. 2 incidents caused the Institute to have a negative perception by the surface dwellers. In 2229, a defective synth caused the broken mask incident in Diamond City, vilifying the Institute in the eyes of the Commonwealth, and causing no small amount of internal problems for the Institute, as he was sent out without proper testing or approval. During the 2230s, the massacre of the CPG occurred, in which the institute killed people trying to create a stable Commonwealth government. By 2266, the institute had learned about the railroad, an organization dedicated to helping escaped synths. The institute raided and massacred the railroad's headquarters, and murdered their leader Wyatt in 2273. Abandoned supermutants and FEV research in the old FEV lab. The FEV research effort continued for several more decades, despite producing no useful data, except for manufacturing more supermutants for the surface to contend with. When Brian Virgil succeeded Dr. Siverson as head of the project in April 2286, it became evident that FEV experimentation ran its course and served no useful purpose, not with the availability of third-generation synths. The Institute's experiments with the forced evolutionary virus, or FEV, ended when Dr. Virgil went rogue and fled into the Commonwealth. The Institute is constantly facing shortages in its power budget, in no small part due to the fact that the molecular dematerializer, the only way in and out of the facility, requires immense amounts of power for each use. Moreover, despite the luster of the Institute's facilities, a lot of the crucial facilities, particularly the reactor, are pre-war technology, and despite continued maintenance requires increasing amounts of resources to keep running after 2 centuries of expansion. The technology still holds up, as it was built to last. To overcome at least one problem, the ultimate goal of the Institute is energy independence, which they believe can be achieved by restarting the ancient nuclear reactor once used by the CIT to perform experiments and providing the Institute with near limitless power. The design has been revised and the reactor itself extensively upgraded and improved, turning it from a testing reactor into a proper source of electricity. Activating it would free the Institute from the need to compromise and sacrifice, and especially drawing power from above-ground installations.